It's just so real. I have a problem. I currently have 20 books on my physical TBR that I have yet to read. And by physical TBR, I mean literally only the one in the UK. Like only the one with me at uni. I'm not even talking at home. So it's time to do a TBR takedown. I want to make this little series where I try to read more of my physical TBR books to get through it, because it's like I bought these, I clearly wanted to read them, and I still do, but for some reason I've put them off, I've been intimidated, or I've just picked up a book on my Kobo instead. This is the year where I take down my TBR. I want to at least get 50 to 75% of my like total TBR off this year. And honestly, I've done a really good job. I think of the 6 books I've read so far this year, I've read 4 of them from my physical TBR that I've like already had before the year even started. So that makes me feel a lot better. Also, I log my physical TBR on Fable, so I can make sure that I know which ones I had prior to the year, because I don't really want to count books that I buy this year, because I feel like that's not taking down any numbers. Anyway, I thought we would start off with Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I have a good few Abby Jimenez's up there, and I truly love her reading. I've read Part of Your World and Just for the Summer, and I adore those books. I gave Just for the Summer 5 stars. That was my first ever Abby Jimenez book, and I just absolutely adored it. I love the way she takes a romance and just makes it so emotional. There's always such a deep kick, and her books truly never fail to make me cry. I know this one's gonna do the same thing. I'm currently 61 pages in, so I know, you know, the bare bones. I know what's going on the back. Basically, we have 2 ER doctors. One of them, her life has kind of fallen apart. She split with her husband almost a year ago, and they're about to finalize their divorce. And the reason for their split was that he was cheating on her with one of her best friends. So there's that. And then on top of that, her younger brother is on dialysis because of kidney failure and has like a massive autoimmune disease. So she's really going through it right now. And then we have Jacob, who is new to the ER. He just switched from a different hospital because 8 months ago him and his girlfriend broke up, and now his ex and his younger brother have just announced their engagement. So, you know, he's also going through it and has mad social anxiety. And honestly, I'm only like 61 pages through this book, but I just think it's so precious. Just knowing Abby Jimenez's writing and the way that she just talks about mental health and anxiety in such a real and raw and very kind way. She doesn't like infantilize or, you know, make anything seem like it's their fault. I don't know. I just really appreciate the way that she writes mental health in her books. And I don't know, I just think it's so sweet because he has really bad social anxiety, so he doesn't really get social cues a lot, and you know, with a new hospital and everything, and like she's going through a lot, so she's been like a little bit harsh to him, and he's like doesn't know what to do and doesn't know how to respond, and it's just like it's really precious. And he literally just wrote her a letter because he was like, oh, I have like social anxiety and I get really scared when I have to like talk to someone face to face if I don't know them well. So like I wanted to write out all of my thoughts on why I think you might dislike me and whether or not we can like have a new shot at like being amiable coworkers. But yeah, I just think that's so precious and I'm obsessed. And this is our first book for my little TBR takedown. Let's hope in 2027 I can definitely say that I've cut off at least 10 to 15 of the books on this TBR. Fingers crossed, we will see. I thought a romance would be an easy one to get into, quite fast-paced. So let's do it. It's like 7 p.m. but I literally just need to say I am obsessed with them. I am currently on page 261. Okay, I've just been sat here reading. I am obsessed. I was like, I'm gonna probably finish this tonight, so I need to do a check-in. They are so freaking precious. I am obsessed with the way that they interact, with the way that they think about each other, with the way that they talk about each other. There is no level of like a fake hating anything. Like, they just love each other so much, and it is actually incredible. Like, the little gestures and just the way that they like remember each other, and like I actually can't. And like, what just happened? It's insane. I am obsessed. I have underlined quite a bit so far, and I love them so much. Oh my god, Jacob is genuinely the warmest, sweetest guy ever. Abby Jimenez male leads are genuinely just like, and this is how you know it's fiction, because they are just like the warmest, most sweetest, most open men. Like, none of them are like even mildly grumpy, and it's just like they off the bat are like, I want to tell you that I like you. I want you to know this. I like you. I think you're incredible. I think you're amazing, and I want to do everything I can for you. And I'm like, whoa, let's get back to it. Let me pop my glasses on. As we all could have guessed, I finished Yours Truly last night, and again, as we all could have guessed, I gave her 4 stars. That was just so sweet. Their connection was just like brilliant. I genuinely just love the way that they act towards each other, whether that's the way that they speak to each other, because it's genuinely just like constant kindness, which is something that I love about Abby Jimenez's characters, is I feel like they're all genuinely just like nice people. There's no like grumpy sunshine, he's kind of an asshole vibe. Like, they're just sweet people who have like pasts, and I don't know, I loved it. I also really enjoyed and felt that the third act conflict in this book was necessary. I'm typically a third act conflict hater. I feel like most people are, but I feel like for this, without the third act conflict, it wouldn't have felt like they truly would have been able to get together and stay together. Like, the trust just wouldn't be there because of what's happened to them in their pasts. So I don't know, I really loved it. It was so sweet and fun, and I just love a good bingeable book. I've been so in a reading mood. Like, I feel like the last year I've just not been reading that much, like in proportion to how much I typically read. I have been reading a lot, just like, you know what I mean? But now I'm literally just like breezing through books. Like, read this in a day, read Wild Love in a day, read another book in a day, read A Thousand Splendid Suns, like most of it in a day. Like, I'm just binging through books, and I'm absolutely loving it, but now I have to figure out what I'm gonna read next, and that is probably the most difficult thing to do. Big scene change. We're in Serbia right now, but I did bring a new book from my TBR for us to read, and I have actually so much work to do in like the next 2 weeks, and have for the past 2 weeks. So I was like, you know what, I was gonna switch it up from a romance because I just did Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, as we saw, and I was like, let me read a literary fiction, let me read something, because I'm kind of in the mood for a literary fiction. But I was like, realistically, when am I gonna actually finish that, because of the amount of stuff that I have done? I'm like, at the end of the day, this is a reading vlog, I should finish this within a couple of days. So we have The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary, which is honestly one of my top authors, and a very, very, very underrated author, if I do say so myself. Her books, like the works of Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry, are a very women's fiction, literary fiction take on the romance genre, and I feel like her books specifically are quite a bit more literary fiction. They always very much focus around, you know, the romance plot, but like I feel like there's so much depth within them, and I really, really, really love her stories. Specifically the No Show. The premise makes you want to assume that you're gonna hate the main guy, but it's actually an incredible book and I love it so much. But I don't actually know much about this, and I kind of don't want to read the back. I kind of want to go into it blind. The Road Trip, the title, the cover, it's making it feel like it's gonna be very rom-com-y, but if I know one thing about Beth O'Leary, it's that her books do not disappoint, and they do not read as rom-com-y as you would expect going into it. Like, we've got like literally like The Flat Share, The Road Show, ooh, The Road Trip. What was the one that I read? What was the one that I read literally last year, which was so good? Come on. Okay, well, anyway, I love her books. Also, I feel like her wit and humor very much reminds me of Jane Austen. I feel like she's very much a modern day Jane Austen, in the sense of, yes, she's writing romance, but it's honestly so much more than that, and it's so interesting, and just her wit and her humor is like literally everything to me. So I will be starting The Road Trip right now. It's how many pages? Let us see. It's showing me like the first 2 chapters of The No Show right now, so I'm like, let's get to, okay, it is 438 pages, and I am literally so excited. And I kind of honestly feel like rereading The No Show this year. I kind of wanted to last year. It's just such a good book, like I'm obsessed with it. So let's get to reading. I finished The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I know I literally did not say anything to you guys. Literally the last two physical books, the only two books in this video, I both binged like basically in a day. That one was literally in a day, yours truly. This one I read like 70% of it yesterday, and then I just finished it today because I was hanging out with my aunt last night, so I wanted to do that instead. But I am just so obsessed with Beth O'Leary's writing. I just think that she is so witty and deep. I think that I've truly never read characters that are written with so much of her own like time and love. They just feel so real. Like I've never read characters that genuinely feel like such real people, like in the mistakes that they make and the way that they think. And maybe this is just me, maybe this isn't all people, I don't know, because I feel like she is so underrated. Like she is genuinely one of my favorite authors of all time. I have never disliked one of her books. I think most of them are 5-star range. I gave this a 4.25. I just love it. I hate giving things 0.25, 0.75s, but I was like, it didn't really stick out as a 4.5, I feel like. I don't know. It just didn't, right? But there's no way it's just a 4. Like, it is, her writing is literally just so impeccable. I'm obsessed. I like wrote a few times. That was that far ago. I just feel like the characters are so real in their flaws and the intensity of their flaws and how much they love each other. Okay, I can't find that annotation. Basically, this book, because I didn't say what it was about going into it because I didn't want to read the back, it's about 5 people that end up on a road trip to a wedding together, and just the history and sticky situations between them. Basically, the 5 people that we have in the car are Addie, Deb, Dylan, Marcus, and Rodney. Now, Addie and Deb are sisters. Addie and Dylan used to date. They haven't spoken to each other for 20 months. They broke up 20 months ago. And then Marcus is Dylan's best friend, who was always horrible to Addie, would constantly like tell Dylan that she's not right for him, that they need to break up, that she's just doing horrible things, that she's this like seductress, and like crazy things for the entirety of their relationship, which lasted a year and a half. And then Rodney's there too, which we don't really figure out what his kind of crazy connection to the story is until later, but it's very much, he's very much like the comedic relief character. He's just there because he lived in their area and needed a ride to the wedding because he couldn't get himself up there. So yeah, it's such an emotional tale, and I love the way that it's very constantly going back to the past and then the present, like when they were in their relationship and then now, and the way that these events are like mirroring themselves, and basically the now all happens just within the like 24-hour span of this road trip up to Scotland. Oh my god, there's something in my eye. If you see me blinking insane amounts, there is still some. Oh my god, I feel like I haven't gotten something in my eye in like a really long time now. Okay, so that's fun. Guys, I swear I'm not crying. Oh, it was an eyelash. Beautiful. Yeah, love. Okay, where was I? Yeah, basically Addie and Dylan's relationship, it's very messy, the whole thing. The friend relationships between Dylan and Marcus is like so deeply unhealthy and intense. The fact that Dylan like doesn't see it basically throughout nearly the whole book, or at least the past, it's so interesting, and I just love it, and I just feel like it's, oh my god guys, it's just so real, but then it's also so funny. And I think the reality comes from the fact that it is actually just so like deeply impactful and moving, and the lack of communication, despair and heartbreak, but also humor that goes on all at the same time is just so, I feel like, true and real. Literally, how many times have I said real in the past like 4 minutes? Of people of this age. They like just finished uni when they met. I just feel like that whole messiness, discovering yourself, not knowing who you are, constantly changing, attaching yourself too much to certain people, it's just so of this era in the worst way possible, but like we all go through it. And I just loved it, and I think the way that it was written was incredible, and I think Beth O'Leary is a genius. And yeah, it's really time for a reread of The No-Show. I loved that book. It was actually so incredible, and I also feel like the twists, like you never know what's gonna happen in her books. Like she always pulls something out and you're like, I really did not see that coming. Like there are certain things where it's like, obviously like you can put together 2 and 2, la la la, but there's always something that like she whips out that is, you know that it's coming, in the sense that like the entire book it's like, oh no, we can't talk about that. Like it gets so close and then it's like, oh, like be quiet, like we shouldn't talk about that, da, 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 da. And then it finally becomes uncovered and you're just like, I truly never would have expected this book to take shape in the way that it did. And I feel like so much happened and we got so much of their previous relationship, which I really appreciate because you can really see how they got together, why they love each other, why everything spiraled down, and like how they got back and are like better now and like know themselves. And I just feel like the way that she writes is actually like inconceivable to me and is literally incredible. So yeah, that's The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary, and that's the end of this video. I should hopefully, fingers crossed, be making another one of these soon because I really do need to tackle my TBR. But thank you guys for sticking along with me while I took 2 books off of my 22 book TBR. Now we're down to 20 and I'm very thankful. See you guys later.